Alright, so in the previous video, I'm still streaming, I think. Yep. And I'm recording. Yep. So in the previous video, we looked at how Deribus implemented his stun behavior, and now we're going to look at how, just adding some log statements into the base game code so that we have an idea of what is going on. That's always very much important, but I don't recall if I had the mod enabled or not. Active mods in session. Oh yeah, it's enabled right now. Okay, let's restart. Let's not start with it enabled. Let me go into this fella, that fella, and then we disable. There we go. Alright, and let's just add some log statements here. Because this is a 5-minute wait, a 5-second wait, which is really long. So I don't.
Wait, 5 seconds? Ticks or seconds?
Aligned to a tick, which is a multiple of 50. I'm not really sure why he does that. Aligned?
Wait, are ticks seconds?
No, so there's 10 ticks per second. So this is 5 seconds.
Okay, understood.
But then aligned to a multiple of 50, which is a bit weird.
I get waiting for the effect to come into play, but why align it?
There's a rate of fire of 1. Maybe to create some kind of consistency.
That would make sense.
With so that it happens every 5 seconds, regardless of when you fired for the last time. Maybe that's why they, because this is something that's in the base game already. So that's the fact that we set that to his mod, where where we made this. We're like, huh? That's
but then what if you shoot 2 times and then you have basically two sections of waiting? Then the effect is being applied multiple. I'm describing that poorly.
Ooh, touche.
That's a performance issue, probably.
Yeah, let's look at that actually. So
what it's trying to do is a workaround to having a loop, but by working around that loop, it's essentially making unnecessary processes.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. It really depends on. Oops. What am I printing here? Oh, I am on the wrong branch. Git checkout FAF forever /deploy /FAF develop. Git.
So yeah, that looks like somebody was just being very lazy and didn't have a way to create a 5-second counter.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet. Because I think it doesn't switch state until it's done waiting. So I'm not sure if it actually attempts to fire again. So let's just look at the log statement and see what happens. We got to restart this one because otherwise everything breaks.
Sorry, I was under the impression the main function was being run on the normal gun shooting, but I see the Chrono has its own firing state segment.
It is, but there is some weirdness with weapons, default weapons, that disables and enables the weapon or something like that. I'm not really sure. Fire ready state on disable weapon on the fire. See, so idle state. When do we switch back to the idle state? Yeah. Weapon packing state.
That probably won't apply to what we're looking at.
Let's first just look at the log statements, see what that brings us. So let's do some hives, because we're gonna build a whole bunch of this. So it's not firing right now. Mantis. 5 to starting. let's give myself some more aligned. You see that? So it's not triggering a whole lot of times.
Oh, okay.
It's actually...
Okay, so I see. So I was wrong. It's not...
It's actually even more interesting. So it's not saying starting and aligned again. You see that?
Yeah.
It remains in this while loop and applies this effect every 5 seconds.
Oh.
So you see that? And then
Yeah.
140. Right? So there's no multiple calls happening. And then if we get out of
I
the...
see. Because the loop is...
Yeah, it keeps the weapon busy.
Mm-hmm.
And now we get back in, and now it's starting again. Oh.
Wait, but does that ever start? Or okay, so you answered my question. It does stop.
Yeah.
When it's out of range.
When it has nothing to shoot at, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so this is fine then. That's why we have the do on fire buffs and play a fix sequence in here, because it's not actually firing again.
Oh, and the reason for it existing in the first place is so that you don't walk in and out of range over and over again and bug it into... Yeah. Okay, understood.
And when we lost the target, then we changed to idle state.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine that if we are targeting this mantis here, starting, aligned, starting, aligned. You see that? So
yeah,
what this does is it guarantees that it happens every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
That's fine.
The 5-second thing is written so that if you have two commanders, both with Chrono, they remain in sync and you can't perma-stun units.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, well, that makes sense.
That in addition to what I had said about the the infinite. So it's safety.
That makes sense. So that if you have two AN commanders at the front, you can perma-stun everyone.
That would be kind of brutal.
That would be brutal, yes. But now it makes sense why this way ticks is in this brilliant implementation in this mod. That's why it now makes sense. All right, let's see. Now we can essentially just copy what Deribus did here, because that's the type of people that we are. And ta-da! We implemented it.
Easy
peasy.
Oh, we need the buff, but
yeah. But we're gonna do something different though. Let's see how we can write this different, because currently there is something that I don't particularly like, and that is that every time we do the add buff, we get into this stun category, and then we do this large query again with a whole bunch of units. I'm not really a fan of that.
What's the alternative?
Well, that's what we're gonna have to think of.
Because we don't want to define it all at once, because if something moves into range,
yeah, then you kind of want to catch that too.
And there's no real way to check just for new units, because you still have to do the whole check and then just exclude.
Yeah,
already.
That's very much true.
I unfortunately can't stay, but are there any questions you have that you want me to answer?
No, I think we got it going. It's
okay.
It's a nice little implementation that you got going here. So
Thank you.
That's really well done.
Required a lot of help from the modding channel.
I can quite imagine.
Except for the variable named int, that's actually like a double.
Yeah, this one was confusing, but besides that, it's really good.
Don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry. It works.
It does.
Yeah. Yes, that's
I never said it works well, but it works.
All right. Let's yeah.
Okay, if you guys are I'm going to head out. If you guys are still going in an hour, I might be able to drop in.
I hope I'm sleeping by then.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens.
I'm already keeping Jip up late enough.
Okay, good luck.
Yep, see ya. All right. I think what we're going to do is we're going to skip the fact that we're adding a buff altogether, because I think this is very confusing. We add a buff to the command unit, and then that buff magically applies a stun to everyone else.
Oh yeah, because we could just do the logic ourselves, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna get this bit here, and this gives us our targets, right? Local targets is da da da, and then we need to have this utilities file imported. So let's see if that works. This is IntelliSense utilities is import slash. I didn't set it up properly. Too bad.
Oh, so it would have autofilled that? If...
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Boink. And there we go. That's the utilities. So let's get that in. So now we have that. We've got a position, which is self get position. Oh, that's literally right there. So let's do that. We've got a buff table with a radius. So we're going to need a radius somewhere.
Oh, that's already defined, right?
That's this one right there. And then we've got a bunch of categories. So let's look at that. Categories is... And let's see where that categories is coming from. We got 2 units. Add buff. Buff table. Dot target allow. Okay, so we've got that buff table that...
Oh yeah, so we just want it to be everything but commanders and experimentals.
Exactly. So what we're...
But oh, and it also has to only allow mobile, which is important.
Yes, which is everything that's not air, I think.
Yeah.
Because we don't stun air units with this.
Wait, did air have mobile?
I don't know.
I'm checking.
But let's add here Chrono, dampener, categories, Chrono, dampener. Is essentially mobile minus categories dot commands plus categories dot... Which one was it? Experimental.
Wait, so how does that formatting work? So you can
What
do
do you
addition and subtraction with
Yeah. So
categories?
yeah. So
Because I saw that before and it was very confusing.
yeah. So what happens here is that categories are essentially just flags, true, false. What we're saying here is we want all the units that have the mobile category minus any unit that has either the command or the experimental category.
Okay, got it.
So this ends up with all the Tech 1, Tech 2, Tech 3, and I think land units, but I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
It should apply only to land units, let's put it like that.
Well,
So-
that's what Deribus has had, so it's got to be.
So that
That
is our categories table right there. Let's see what we have. And then we've got this duration. Let's just say local slices. Or yeah, let's just call it slices for now. It's 10. That simplifies what we have in here. Then instead of setting the buff.radius, we can just say local radius, or radius is that. And then here we have red, which is the original radius.
Oh, so rad is the big radius.
I think
Radius
so.
is the radius of the section.
Yeah, and this essentially increases that every single time. So we have the buff. The buff...
We're not using the buff, right?
Well, we should, because we should make it moddable. Has
Oh,
this
true, yeah.
outer radius, so let's retrieve that.
Oh, is there a built-in buff? Oh, yeah, obviously there would be a built-in buff
Yeah,
for Chrono.
But that one stuns longer, right? That's a 2.5 stun.
Mhm.
Whereas we likely only want stun for 1 second.
Alright.
So we got this outer or maximum radius is above dot. So I'm personally not a huge fan of working with information that I don't know, right? I never really know what's inside this buff, so I just put it in a local.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So now we know that we have the maximum radius. Let's see. We know the amount of slices. So we extract information from the buff blueprint. We have a bunch of slices. So we divide that by the number of slices we have. And then inside here, we multiply it again. So that we start with the first 3.5.
Wait, max radius is the...
You're right. This is confusing. Slice size?
Oh,
maybe?
slice. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
That's better. So now we have the radius, we have a bunch of targets, and then we want to do something with those targets. And we know that these targets are units. So if you look at this at buff, all it does is do this set stunt call. So let's just do that too. Target set stunt, and then we just use the duration here. So local stun duration is above dot. And there it is, duration. All right. So here we just have stun duration.
Should it be buff table or should it be... Oh, never mind, you're right. I didn't realize you were getting rid of that. Got it.
And then we've got this wait ticks, which was set to int.
Oh, that was the fraction.
Yeah.
So it would probably be slices.
Yeah, so this would be the int was 3.5.
Yeah, but wouldn't it make sense for it to be slices? Because you want to iterate it for every slice? Or maybe not.
Yeah, but the total duration...
Oh, you want the
is,
duration divided by the slices.
Yeah, this would end up with 4 ticks, so that there's a 1 second
Got it.
time between. And the duration is apparently set here in script. So let's see, we can get this one, that one out, these two out. Duration is 45, which is what we need here. And then we want to wait duration over slices +1.
Got it.
Right? Because then we wait every slice, and that seems about right to me.
Yeah, that seems like what he had before.
So usually I would not be very happy about this. I'm still not. But we also have to keep in mind that if there is going to be a unit that has this, then it's only going to be one unit, right? So if, for example, a mantis would have something like this,
yeah, then that would be
bad, right? That would be bad.
Yeah.
But usually people don't even get the enhancement. So
yeah.
even though it's
Plus, is it physically possible to do it any other way?
Yeah,
I guess you could get the position just in that slice.
there is another way of doing it. We could have done a damage ring, which is this is, by the way, the IntelliSense working.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we could have done this. Does it autocomplete? No. We should definitely need that. But we could do a damage ring that does damage between the two slices and then apply the buff using that damage.
Makes sense.
That is something we could have done. And then we could have just said very specifically that we had everything between the units between these two circles.
Yeah, though then never mind. That could be solved by just making the stun duration longer for the past slices. That way you're not redoing it. Yeah, okay, I see.
That's something that we could have done. But for now, this is fine. All right.
Nice.
So these are some constants that need to go into blueprint. And this is the buff. So let's look at what we have. We've got a command unit. We always need to make a new instance of the unit.
Alright.
Because the changes
Oh,
that the class is reloaded, but this one is still attached to the old class.
Yeah, that's what I saw in the video.
So that's
I remember that now.
let's see if it does anything. Oh, the mantis are dead.
Yeah.
So
Killed all your mantis.
sad mantis.
Poor mantis.
Is it? It is enabled. Ooh, get position and nail value. Self.unit get position. Okay.
Commander under attack.
You were not perfect.
Some intense testing we got.
Yeah.
Over here.
You know, no commanders were hurt in the production of this feature.
No, mantis were hurt.
No,
Who cares
mantis.
about the commander?
Mantis are always hurt. That's just their purpose.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
Teleporting.
Oh, we had an effect, and there it goes, right? So they were stunned.
Nice.
But I'm not really sure how much they get stunned, so let's just...
Oh, it's because we don't have the animation.
Right.
Or yeah, the correct animation.
Oh, poor Mantis. That was not intentional. Let's
You're gonna
see.
just murder your commander.
Yeah, but I want to make sure
well, I
that
guess
they...
that does have permanence.
I mean, like, we still have the OP...
Never gonna move.
Yeah, there...
Hold fire the commander. Yeah.
There you go. But I think that the effect keeps going.
Does it?
It does not, apparently.
Unless hold fire changes the state.
Right, so you can see them being stunned starting there. Right?
Yeah.
And then they don't all lose the stun at the same time, though.
Do they? It
They
kind of looked
don't.
like
They do.
it is. That's not intended, right?
Yeah,
We want
that's
the-
intended.
Oh no, it is intended because okay. Sorry,
That's what we
brain
wanted.
is dying. Understood. Because they get the stun later. They don't
Yeah.
lose the
Yeah.
stun earlier. Understood.
All right, so now we
just need the effects.
just need the effect. And what Deribus did is he just increased the size of the emitters. We can't really do that because there may be a mod that depends on the size of this effect being the way it is right now. So we're going to make new effects. So we're going to copy this one. And then go to here. We have 4 of these. So emits. And then we go here. New, large. Because otherwise we may break some arbitrary mod. And then people come to me saying that I broke their mod. And the only thing I can tell them is, yes, I did.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be a pain.
Yeah, it happens too often, so...
And they should go and fix their mod.
Well, that's kind of the... that's what I would usually say, but usually
Well-
the offer doesn't exist anymore.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. I doubt it's the people who made the mod going to complain about it.
Exactly. So let's look at it. So this is then the Chrono dampener large. So then we add in the large right there. And
Crazy 4-line typing at once.
yes, that's how I roll. And then we just gotta copy the bits that he changed.
You're a 2500 code user. Visual Studio user.
There we go. There we go.
Wait, what did that change?
This
Which
is
changed.
the LOD cutoff, so that's the distance to which it's visible.
Okay.
And then we've got some lifetime curve, which he extends a bit. We've got an end size curve, which is by all means the animation itself. And we've got a rotation rate curve, which makes it look a bit more cool. And I just copied all the stuff into 04, but we are copying from 02.
Oh.
Yeah.
Small issue.
Attempt number 2.
And he just uses 2 and 4?
No, he only adjusts those, but he keeps everything else
Okay.
the same. So we're going to do the same thing, and then maybe if we have some time left over, we could see if we can make it look a bit more boom, a bit more woof, a bit more wow, or something like
Yeah,
that.
for all you fancy Windows users that get to see these things.
Yes, and you get to see it on stream.
Yeah.
So,
I get to know what I could have.
yeah, exactly.
I gave my money to Microsoft.
And then here we have a Chrono dampener large. So
It's that
this-
simple to change the effect.
Commander under attack.
Well, yeah, usually. If you look at projectiles, for example, these are the effects, and anything that all the projectiles do is give their own templates to those values, right? To those values that we saw. And that's what determines the effect at impact or the trails, etc.
Got it.
And then the emitter files, these are a bit meh to read, but they essentially describe the movement of the particles and the textures, etc.
And that's what we were playing around with earlier with
That's what we
yeah.
were copying from Deribus creation here.
Got it.
All right, let's see what we have. Okay, so we changed the effect. So let's spawn in a new command unit. Let's give it an immediate enhancement upgrade, because that's how we roll. And there we go. So that's the effect of Deribus.
Oh yeah, that's much better.
Okay, now there's one issue, and that is that there's this little icon appearing above the unit, but I kind of want to see some particle effect when the unit gets
Oh,
stunned.
that would be cool. I didn't know you
Right?
could do that.
So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to add a little effect in this loop here.
Gonna do like a little mini Chrono effect.
Yeah, something that looks stunny. The only question is, what looks stunny?
You could do like the Chrono effect, just coming out very.
Oh, like very small from it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not an artist. Don't listen to me.
Let's see what. Yeah, I think the Chrono effect itself is
no,
not
too-
very.
Too much of a circle.
Yeah, exactly. Too much. Especially because they get stunned over and over again, right? So we kind of want the
Yeah.
effect to be very small. We could maybe use the.
Trying to think because it would have to be Aeon because it would look weird without.
Yeah,
If it was like Loyalist or something.
yeah, I agree. Any suggestions from the audience?
I'm loading the game now.
Say again?
I'm loading up the game to have a look.
Ah, look at that. Oh, this looks actually pretty good. Look.
Oh yeah, that's true actually.
Just
yeah, I like that.
that's a good start. Let's see what else we got.
What's the Obsidian's firing animation? I haven't seen this since I've played on Windows, so I don't know. But no, it's not as I thought it was.
That's
better.
a bit more
Never mind.
extreme.
Yeah, no, yeah, never mind.
Does the scout have anything by any chance? Something small? No.
No, that could be good. It's more subtle. It's just
Yeah, but this one is a bit too
Flash.
subtle again.
yeah.
It's the tricky parts. I think what we could
Shoot.
do is let's take that muzzle flash.
Oh
of the
yeah, the
Aurora.
internal. I like that.
Let's try that, and then what we can do is apply it to a random bone on the target, so that the effect appears on different parts of the unit every time it gets reapplied.
Fancy.
So, and Rowie, if you got a better suggestion, by all means.
Have a look at the sniper bot charger.
Sniper bot.
Shoots. It does a bit of a static charger.
Oh,
Actually,
that's
that would be pretty cool.
That's actually better. Yeah, I agree. Let's switch again. Okay. Change of plans. Sprite striker.
You gotta make sure it scales with size based on the unit type, though.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we've got this weapon in weapons. And it has a muzzle flash and a charge muzzle flash. And I suppose that this is the effect that we're interested in. So let's go back to our in weapon. Where is our little weapon?
Search Chrono.
No, here it is.
Yeah.
So FX unit stun is that. And then here, what we're gonna do is, I think in unit Lua there's a bone count. No, there's not. But we do have, because this is the Lua side of everything, and we also have an engine side. And here we have a bone count or something like that. Bone. Hide
Bone
bone.
index? No, that would
No,
be the index.
show bone. Hide bone. There is somehow maybe.
Wait, so there's two unit.luas, one for engine, one for Lua.
Yes, absolutely confusing. So we have the game has an engine side which is written in C and has a Lua side.
Yeah.
And anything that's done in Lua is stuff that we can change, and anything that's done by the engine, we can't change that, but we can call it.
Okay, I see.
That's the trick. And
Got it.
the idea is that the unit is again an entity, and this is all the functions that an entity has, and one of those is get a bone count.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get that bone count. So say local count is target get bone count, and then we have this effect that we just found, FX unit stun, and there is something called entity emitter create emitter at bone, right, this one. And by all means, if we don't know how something works, just search for it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
What did you do to do that?
Control Shift F, and then you search for the entire repository.
Got
So here we see the target. Usually that's ourself, but that's not the case. We've got the bone, which is going to be random -2 to count. But let's go from 0. -1. So we pick a random bone.
Wait, why are we -1 though?
Because
because
it
there
starts
could be...
at so this is a bit weird. The bone starts at 0,
I
but
see.
Lua starts at 1.
Oh, Lewis starts at 1.
Yeah. But this is a C thing, and here they thought, oh, let's make bone start. Let's make that exclusive, whereas in Lua it's inclusive. So that's
Okay.
this prevents a hard crash.
Got it.
And then for every effect in our self.fx unit stun, do and There we have it. And then we have this effect. So now, for every target, whenever we stun them, we get their bone count and we apply this effect at a random point. Local
Got
limits. And we can adjust the emitter again. So we have I effect. These are the engine functions of the emitter. We can scale it slightly because I'm pretty confident that's going to be too big. And do that. So
Wait,
let's...
isn't it called emit, not emitter?
Oops. You're right. There we go.
Yes.
So let's get rid of this command unit. It did its job. Command that fella.
Do you know you can just get the presets with pre-installed Chrono?
Say again?
It's no
Get-
fun.
You can get the presets straight from cheap menu.
Yeah, but this is fine too. Let's see what happens, and it crashes.
Crashed?
Expected 4 arguments. Oh, we forgot the army. So we forgot that argument right there. So
Oh.
we should do target.
The emitter
army.
needs an argument?
Yeah, because not everyone should see.
Oh, so I got you.
Exactly. So that you don't. Don't restart.
Asked so many stupid questions and then figured out exactly what the answer was 2 seconds later.
That's how it works in practice too. So that's fine.
Yep.
Radar. Something like that. Yep, there we go.
Ooh, I like that.
That's actually really nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good
so
call,
now
Barry.
let's look at it when we have some titans. So let's go with that one. All right, now we have that really annoying fact that they're constantly stunned.
Poor Titans. But yeah, why are they constantly stunned? Do we have to move the speed down?
Yeah,
that
I
intent?
think we messed up with the duration. Because currently the duration is set to 2.5. Right, in the blueprint somewhere.
Wasn't it 1 originally?
Yeah, exactly. We need to set this to 1. But okay, so we've got this effect.
That's so cool looking though. It even scales well.
There's
Wait.
There's
But does it last the entire...
Say again?
Does it match the time that the stun applies for?
It does, but they're always stunned now for some reason. So if you look at this little fella here,
Yeah.
right? So the effect is on it,
Yeah.
and then the effect is gone and the stun's
Got it.
gone.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
and real means the stun would be shorter, right? In practice, because we now have
Yeah.
an infinite stun.
Commander under attack.
Yeah.
How do you spawn this with the enhancement then?
I guess search Chrono maybe?
Is that a thing? No.
Yeah, interesting. Very.
I literally just yeah, if you just do A on the land, you can see the presets.
Oops. Why did it
Wait,
crash?
are the presets only SACUs?
Yeah, those are only SACUs, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've got it in my head because they were adding
Why is
Chrono
this?
to the SACUs.
Why is this crashing now?
What is theirs?
Okay, let's just restart the game. See if that helps. See if that helps. And while we're at it, let's stop this video because we're 40 minutes in. And
Oh,
then
wow.
do one
Going-
last session to finish it
Going
up.
overtime.